Happy 4th of July, everyone, and you are tuned in to DAR Sports Media. We got the fireworks going this week, the finality of our NFL offseason reviews. Coming at you, last and the best. The NFC West. I know this is what plenty of people have been looking to talk about. It finally happened. It feels like it kind of came and went. Well, it came and went because it was a beautiful thing. And so, the discourse leading up to the Brock Purdy deal was much more dramatic than the discourse surrounding when it actually happened. Ends up at 5 years for $53 million a year. Realistically, couldn't have been more perfect. Realistically, could not have settled into a more perfect place. By this time next year, by the time the cap goes up, by the time some new quarterback deals get done, he'll probably be the 10th highest paid quarterback in the league. If they're going with him as the guy, and I don't disagree that they should, given what we've seen, 5 years, $53 million, couldn't have been more absolutely perfect. And he has said, we ain't going to get into too much of it because I don't want to go too much on conjecture. But he has said since, hey, I didn't need to reset the market. I didn't need to push for more. Like, I want to keep good players around me. I want to keep a good team around me. So even right now, brand new contract. He was the big quarterback deal of the offseason. So he's still, I believe, like the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league. You still got guys like Tua and Trevor Lawrence and other guys that Brock has beaten in the playoffs, making considerably more money than he does. I will take that any damn day. Other parts of, let's just talk about that because it was probably the biggest quarterback deal of the offseason. And it's been talked about for so damn long. Tay, where do you think they ended up on this quarterback deal?
It's all right. It's all right. I'm not gonna say it's an overpay because you're not gonna find someone really better than Brock Purdy. But I think Brock Purdy was great. I think he's great with a great team. I do think it would be a little different, like if the team was worse going through the rebuild. I don't know. Kind of like then I would feel like you look at him more like a Tua or something like that if the team was worse. But the 49ers have a great roster right now, so it's fine. It's fine. He'll play good, he'll fit right in with the team. He won't bring the team down or anything like that. So the contract's fine. I mean, that's the cost of a starting quarterback now anyway. So I mean, I'm already used to that. Like if you're a starter, you can throw for 4,000 yards. You're getting $50 million. Like, yeah, that's just what it is. So, I mean, if you can do that, you can get your team to the playoffs pretty often. You can uplift your team or not make your team worse and turn the ball over and stuff. I mean, yeah, that's how you get your money. So I think the contract was just fine.
A lot of addition by subtraction. Niners, but that's what the Niners needed, and I talked about it a lot during the season last year. A lot of guys living on big old fat deals that kind of were just hanging out last year, and it showed in many, many ways how poor the tackling grades were, how poor the penalties were. So glad to get them out of there. Loved the draft. Michael Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West, a bunch of big bad boys on that defensive line to reinforce with Robert Saleh coming back, reinstalling his system, which also adds to the offseason grades. Robert Saleh being brought back in, getting his pick of the litter, reinforcements for that defense and that defensive line. I know one damn thing. We're not going to be near the bottom of the league in run defense again this year. So that works for me. I can handle a lot of things. Seeing the team get run on is one of the most demoralizing and frustrating things to watch, along with penalties being taken off for long range touchdowns. So really liked the draft. not much else to speak of. Lee Harvey, you looked like you were excited about the Salah return.
Yes, definitely, because if he was at DC, I'm not sure if James Cook has one of those long touchdown runs, or Josh Jacobs had 3 touchdown game against San Francisco last year. But yeah, it it's it's great for the 49ers to bring Salah back to his roots, because that was one of the things that made San Francisco great, was their defense. And hopefully they can get back to that.
Tay, thoughts of the Niners offseason?
Again, 49ers, like, when you go to the playoffs on a consistent basis, you have to go in this money saving mode. You got to be a cheapo during the offseason. Can't do nothing cool. You can't, you already got all your cool guys. Now you got to get your role players.
I mean, in a way, they were saved from themselves, because there really wasn't anything cool to do this offseason.
Yes, exactly.
So they had to went out and spend money on something stupid.
Right.
Hello, Javon Hargrave.
Yeah, they're in this. They're in that mode right now, trying to save their money. Trying to run it back. They had a down year last year. They're without question have a great year this year. Easiest schedule in the NFL. So I mean, it should be like nothing this season.
Ooh, gonna be some revenge.
Yeah. So the offseason for them was, it was what it was. I know what they're trying to do though. They want 10 sacks a game. You can tell that all the role players that they're signing on the D line that they're drafting, they want 10 sacks a game. That's how they want to win their games. And I respect it.
That's how they won. That's how they won the last time Salah was there. So it makes sense.
I see the direction they're going. I mean, well, that's always been the direction. So they're just continuing to just follow, their path. So yeah, I have no problems with the offseason. They brought everyone they wanted back too. So we didn't think it was possible, but I mean, yeah, they did.
So I'm guessing we're probably going to have similar, the top team at the offseason in the NFC West, because who the hell knows what's going on with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. But the Rams, buddy, oh man, they were already a contending team, and now they got Davante Adams coming in to reinforce this wide receiver group. It's tough for me to say. A solid draft class, but the biggest thing to me is Davante Adams being added. Poona Ford, Coleman Shelton beefing up both sides of the lines. It's concerning. It's a concerning situation. Only hope for other NFC West teams is maybe Stafford's gonna start showing his age this year. Maybe he'll fade out this year. What was your top NFC West team there, Tay?
I wasn't big on the Rams. I think their draft was like
meh.
That's what brings it down for me. I like the free agent signings. I think Davante Adams would be pretty good there. I like what the Cardinals did. I really do. I really do like the Cardinals going into next year. I think the Cardinals
they did have a solid. They did get really good value in Will Johnson in the second round for corner.
They did.
And Walter Nolan was also good value because he was considered for much of the process a top 10 prospect. So
he was supposed to be on your team. So I mean, I like what the Cardinals did. Their defense was terrible. Last year, the offense was pretty good. Offense held up most of the weight, stuff like that. And I just think the offense was getting any better, and they had every position on defense. They had absolutely no threats on the D line. Honestly, they go straight to the interior. They get Walter Nolan. And
they signed Josh Sweat as well from the Eagles.
Exactly, yeah. And then they drafted Jordan Birch in the third round as another edge. So they're not playing about the D line, and that's this whole division. Nope, everyone's going to this D line. All these quarterbacks. I think every quarterback this is probably one of the best quarterback divisions. Every quarterback, their franchise starting quarterback.
3 out of 4.
Yeah, definitely 3 out of 4. But everyone got money. They all got a lot of money in their bank account. All these quarterbacks, and these teams are trying to draft D-line to go get them. So, then the Cardinals stopped the bleeding with Will Johnson, and they weren't scared. They picked him. I think that'd be a great pick. Like maybe a year later we'll look back like, man, he should have went in the first round like we thought. So yeah, I like the Cardinals. I really do. I think they filled all their needs on defense, and they'll be tough to beat next year.
Who's your top offseason in the NFC West there, Lee Harvey?
I go with the Rams.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier, they added Devontae. They added Poona Ford to an already D-line that held their own, honestly, without losing Aaron Donald the year before. Also, it feels like to me they're trying to make one more run until Stafford, I guess, retires or something like that. So, yeah, I'll go with the Rams.
Well, we'll do a little round table ski here. What in the fuck is going on up in Seattle? I mean, I as a 49ers fan, I am ecstatic about what's going on up there. But Sam Darnold to Cooper Kupp, that's your connection. That's your representation out there. That's what you're going into battle with. Sam Darnold to Cooper Kupp. Sam Darnold, one of the worst quarterbacks in the league under pressure, behind one of the worst pass blocking lines in the league. You know what, Ravens fans, you guys should be excited because Mike McDonald will be back soon. Maybe after next season, you'll get your defense just like the 49ers got Robert Saleh back. Mike McDonald will be coming on home. God damn. Never mind. I'm not going to fucking go into. No, because I don't want to fucking. Jalen Milroe's a good guy from all fucking. Yeah. So I'm not going to go into how their answer for that, if that don't work out, is the opposite with Jalen Milroe. Ugh. Good Lord. Hey, thoughts on this situation?
I don't even know. I don't have an answer either. Well, I do. They're rebuilding. They're rebuilding. They didn't like the Sam Darnold contract. I think he's only
it's team friendly.
Yeah. So they're just trying to be competitive. They're trying to have a competitive rebuild, like they've been doing. They like winning 9 games, stuff like that. I feel like that's what they're going with now, and they're just trying to draft guys. I guess they want to develop Jalen Milroe. I guess that's the next option for them. Gray Zabel, they finally drafted an old lineman. I feel like it's been 20 years. They finally did, especially in the interior. They finally did it. Yeah, I think they're gonna be one of the younger teams in the league in a couple years. They're just trying to get some like vets in here just for a little bit. They gave them some good deals, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy, no maxes or anything like that. So
just trying to have a fun season, a 7-win season until they get another.
Yeah, they're trying to get really young because the Seahawks have been old. They had Bobby Wagner and Russell. They were old.
Yeah.
So Richard Sherman like that. So I think this new Seahawks team, they're trying to get younger, and it will continue to get younger next year and the year after that, and then they'll start to, with their young core, like compete. So
we'll have to pull up the schedule when we do actual win predictions because I don't know who are they beating in this fucking division. They're not better than the Cardinals. They're not better than the Niners. They're damn sure not better than the Rams.
They'll catch the Cardinals one game.
I mean, the 49ers might give them a game. We've seen that fucking happen before, but the 49ers also like to, that will be the one game where it's like Sam Darnold just randomly, 34 for 36, 472 yards, 5 touchdowns, no mistakes. For the rest of the season, he'll average, 180 a game, 1 touchdown, 2 ints, but that game will be the one, where it looks like maybe something's going to happen. I can't wait. But in general, we're going to have to pull up the schedule to kind of see. We're going to have to really take a look at like where they're going to find 7 wins from. Lovely. Well, we hope that you have enjoyed our off-season reviews this year. DAR Sports Media starting up in just a couple weeks, next week even possibly. I got to count it up. Unbelievably, the NFL Hall of Fame game is in fucking July this year. What is happening in the world? Wow. July 31st. Yeah. NFL football game in July. So we're going to have to get rolling on these divisional previews and start picking some wins pretty damn quick. So we will be getting on that very soon. And, of course, look for NBA offseason updates from Hoop Hour. Me and True jumping back on here with the World in Wrestling possibly next weekend. But very soon, one way or the other. And, of course, the Medium site rocking and rolling. We hope you all are having a safe and fun 4th of July holiday, 4th of July weekend. All of this because the world of DAR never stops.